So music is in my life for a very special reason. Music makes me really happy. It makes me happier than anything else in life. I should not say that. I'll get killed because of it. It makes me very happy, and it helps me feel grounded. It helps me remain sane through all of the stresses and all of the craziness that life has to offer. And so music has really a special place in my life for that reason. Music to me is like a painkiller, is like supplementation, is like good food, is good relaxation, is good challenges. It creates a environment for me to flourish, for me to grow, for me to feel really, really happy. Music has a very, very special place in my life. I think it was my 16th or 17th birthday, and I was gifted a 3-cassette series by my parents. Pandit Kumar Gandharva's Malkaun's Baitak, Ustad Amir Khan Saab's Malkaun's, and Pandit Jasraj ji's live Savai Gandharva from I think 91 or 92, Bhairav Lalat and Bhairav Bahar. And I think these 3 recordings completely changed my life. There is a great deal of subtlety to music, and at every point, at especially this point in my life, right, my quest is to go deeper and to the more subtle, to the sukshma of the music, as opposed to the grosser aspects or the more obvious aspects or the sthula. So going into the sukshma of music is what is on my mind currently, and it is at that point where really the science meets the art, physics meets quantum physics. Weird things start to happen at that level of granularity, and at that level of subtlety, at that level of just being, real music happens in ways that are still beyond science, I think. I cannot explain when I compose, if the composition just happens. I cannot explain where it is coming from at times. That is the level that I want to actually reach and understand at the very, very minute. Whether I chose music or whether music chose me, I think it goes both ways. It's instant attraction on both sides. And I've come to realize this, that music itself is not a passive entity. It is a highly active, energetic movement. And when you are ready for it, when your mind, body is ready for the music, music shows up. When you hear music that is so energetically magnificent that you are attracted to it, that is the point your mind, body also becomes ready for that music. So it's a symbiotic relationship. And there are points in time when even amazing musicians will not feel the music because they are not in the right mind body state. Sometimes people who are not in mind body state for music will be exposed to music that is so unbelievable and so beautiful that music tunes their body to become the optimal state for receiving that music. So it's a very interesting paradox. On one level, evolution as an artist involves me understanding techniques, involves me practicing techniques and doing that every day, regularly, systematically. But on the other level, evolution as an artist, I think, is to go beyond these techniques. So there is a level of letting go. There is a part that has to surrender to the music, and only then will you really go beyond technique, go beyond what I call impression towards expression. And when you are truly deeply committed to the expression of things, I think that is when the expression itself, life itself, will show you how you are going to evolve, what are your next steps, how you take them, and so on. Beautiful music is music that moves me, and this is music generally that has expression at the root of it, at the base of it, and then music is the expression of the expression. And when that happens, no matter who it is, it could be a 5-year-old student of music, it could be the most amazing Pandit in the world, and everybody in between. If you are true to the expression, that music will move me. What I know about music today that I didn't know 10 years ago is all about what I don't know now. So as I am learning more and more and more, I realize how much more I don't know. So now I know more about how much I don't know, and that has shifted in the last 10 years. Because if you look at a Venn diagram, this is the universal set of knowledge. This is your set of knowledge. This is what you know. The circumference of that circle represents what you know about what you do not know. As your knowledge increases, that circumference also increases. So now I know more about what I don't know. I think the most obvious sign that you have, or the easiest way that you can figure out if you have grown as an artist, is if you start surprising yourself and delighting yourself with your own music in ways that you never thought possible before. So there are points in concerts, there are points in my own practice, there are points when I'm teaching, when there will be something that I'll do, something that will happen, I would say, that just blows my mind. It was not a conscious thing, it just happened. I have mastered techniques to a point where now that I've let go, some things are happening on their own, really magically, and at that point you really know that, oh, this is new, this is interesting, and it will teach you where to go. So I think that is a sign that there is growth happening. Another sign of growth happening is when you make mistakes, but when you make new mistakes. If you keep repeating the same mistake, there is no growth happening. But if you start exploring things that you have never done before and you trip over in ways that you have never done before, that is also growth. Right from the notes to the ragdari to the badhat to the nitty-gritty details to the nuts and bolts, all the way to the expression, to enjoying life, to experiencing new things in life and getting inspired by that and creating music, and the entire gamut, because it's an iterative process. You never actually grow in one dimension suddenly. There is growth that happens everywhere, and you have to keep doing that. You have to keep going back to basics. You've got to keep going back and revising everything that you think you know and increasing the resolution, getting better at it, not assuming that you know anything at all, and then looking at it with fresh eyes and every time discovering something else. Endless evolution. That is my philosophy of living. That is how I live my life every day, that I've been doing consciously for the last 18, 19 years now. And what I get out of riyaz, what I get out of practice, is a sense of groundedness, a sense of happiness, a sense of knowing what I don't know, where I need to go, and just becoming a better human, becoming a better musician at every level, every day. Spontaneity and creativity in music is all about forgetting yourself. When you do that, you can really take risks without being humiliated by it. More often than not, when you take risks like that, rather than trying to show something, just not being present in the ego body, just having music flow without any barriers, whether you make a mistake or not is a whole other question. That is the point truly when spontaneity and creativity really shine through. It has to be backed by a lot of practice and a lot of subconscious level processing. But all of that you can take and let it go. That is the point when spontaneity and creativity truly shine through. As we enter the technology age, as we enter the 21st century, a lot of practices from the Gurukul era are slowly fading out and slowly getting lost. And the biggest thing that I would like to fix about that is to try and preserve some of these things as we get into the 21st century, because they really work amazingly well. And to preserve this culture, this tradition into the 21st century, it might not be preserved in exactly the same way, but the intention, the way to do it, they might not be preserved exactly the same way, but we have to use technology in order to preserve this and go forward with it. The other thing I would like to fix potentially is this entire there is a lot of spotlight on a lot of people these days, especially starting at a young age, and without proper counseling and without proper guidance, that spotlight can turn into self-image problems later on. And as artists, self-image is something that is pretty devastating. So to have youngsters be coached into properly growing as a human, as an artist, I think is very, very critical in this day and age of social media, of advertising, of marketing, of a lot of media coverage. Mora man to so lagela, mora man to so lagela. When I teach my students, I think I learn more from them than they learn from me. And I say that because every student is different, they'll approach every rag differently, they will have different vocal techniques, some vocal deficiencies, ways of doing things, ways of thinking, ways of processing things in so different ways that everything becomes an insight for me. Everything becomes something that I can learn whether to do or whether not to do. And then if not to do, why, and then how can I fix that? So it adds to my growing library of fixes or solutions for a lot of problems, which is now encoded as Nada Yoga. And it allows me to become and to have insight on just the human voice itself rather than my voice or somebody else's voice. Because I've taught so many people and interacted with so many students, it gives me a far broader view of the world of vocal music than ever before. I think my fondest musical memory happened very recently, and this supersedes all of my previous fondest memories, so I'll mention that. I was singing to my twins who were probably 12-13 months old then, and I was singing Rag Des and a Thumri in Des, and as I did a phrase, both my son and daughter uttered basically that phrase in their own way, and they were accompanying me, they were singing along with me, and that I think is the most enduring, the most heartwarming memory musically that I have.
lage